At the beginning of 1943, the prisoners of the Sobibor death camp made a shocking discovery. They had long heard rumors that other camps were being dismantled, though the fate of their inmates was uncertain. One day a new group of prisoners arrived at Sobibor who, as soon as they got off the train, were taken to the gas chambers, where they were mercilessly murdered. Disposers found a handwritten note on one of the bodies. The message read as follows: "We worked for a year in the Belzec camp. I don't know where they are taking us now. They say Germany. There are dining tables in the freight cars. They gave us bread for 3 days, cans, and liquor. If all this is a lie, then you should know that death awaits you too. Don't trust the Germans. Avenge our blood." Thanks to these chilling words, the Sobibor prisoners realized that the Nazis were massacring all the inmates of the concentration camps after their closure, as a way of eliminating witnesses to their crimes and covering their tracks. Very soon, they would be next, so there was no time to lose. It was necessary to elaborate an escape plan and flee from that hell before it was too late. Today, in this new episode of Military History, we'll tell you everything about the escape from Sobibor. Are you ready? Let's get started. The Sobibor death camp was built in the spring of 1942, in a sparsely populated area on the eastern border of Poland. The place was hidden behind a forest, and had been camouflaged by placing branches and leaves on the fence. To prevent the escape of the prisoners, the site was surrounded by a minefield, so that anyone who crossed the area from any side other than the main road would be blown up. Sobibor was one of the camps founded with the aim of murdering the 2 million Jews living in Poland. It is estimated that around 170,000 people were executed in the gas chambers inside. In early 1943, prisoners heard rumors that the Nazis were closing down other Polish detention centers. This was true, since the leaders of the Third Reich were implementing the Action 1005 plan, which consisted of eliminating all evidence of mass murder. For this, the order was to dig up the corpses of those who died gassed and burn them. Even so, the Sobibor inmates did not know what the fate of the living workers in the camps was. As we told you at the beginning of this video, they learned the truth from the message on the body of a worker at the Belzec Center, who warned them about their future. The Sobibor inmates organized a secret resistance network with the aim of escaping before being sent to the gas chambers. Crucial to this was the arrival at the camp of a group of Red Army POWs, who had military experience and knew how to handle weapons. The leader of the Soviets was Captain Alexander Pechersky, who, upon being approached by the conspirators, immediately agreed to participate in the rebellion and became its ringleader. Pechersky had gained notoriety for his courage in confronting the prison guards, and for his defiance towards members of the SS. One of his companions recalled the following anecdote that shows his character. Pechersky, still wearing his Soviet Army uniform, was assigned to dig up tree stumps in the northern camp. An SS sergeant told him that he had 5 minutes to split a large tree trunk in two. If he did it on time, he would receive a pack of cigarettes, but if not, he would be flogged 25 times. Finally, the Soviet captain split the stump in 4.5 minutes. The sergeant handed him the cigarettes and announced that he always kept his promises. Pechersky replied that he did not smoke, turned around and continued to chop down stumps. The Sobibor rebels' plan was to stealthily kill as many of the camp's officers as possible within an hour, then escape out the front gate in an open riot. In order to kill the Nazis, they would be lured into locked rooms under various pretexts, and executed with homemade knives and axes. At the same time, they were to cut the electricity to the site to prevent the SS from calling in reinforcements, and to steal rifles and pistols from the armory to storm the entrance. The chances of success were slim, but they were convinced that it was better to die like this than to wait meekly for the gas chambers. On October 14, 1943, at noon the rebellion got underway. The first Nazi to die was Johann Niemann, the provisional commander of the camp, who was taken to the tailor's shop with the excuse that he would be given a new uniform. Instead, as soon as he entered the room, he ran into one of the Red Army prisoners, who finished him off with an axe blow to the head. Meanwhile, other officers were being cornered in their offices and stabbed to death. One by one, the top brass of Sobibor fell and, after an hour, the dead numbered 11, without anyone noticing anything strange. Pechersky seized the material from the armory, gathered the 550 prisoners of the siege and distributed the weapons to them. Just then, a guard found one of the corpses and sounded the alarm. The SS men drew their machine guns and opened fire on the inmates. The situation devolved into complete chaos, and in the midst of the massacre, the prisoners exchanged shots with the Nazis, ramming the entrance and the perimeter fence. A contingent broke through the barbed wire fence and began to flee through the minefield, towards the forest. As expected, the bombs went off and claimed the lives of dozens of people. Sobibor had become the scene of unprecedented carnage, with hundreds of prisoners escaping in gunfire, explosions ringing out everywhere, and corpses piling up everywhere. Many managed to escape successfully, but in the following weeks the Nazis launched a fierce manhunt throughout the area with the aim of capturing the fugitives. Of the 550 Sobibor prisoners, 320 fled into the forest, 150 failed to escape, and 80 died in the rebellion. In the subsequent search, the Nazis recaptured 170 people, who were taken to the concentration camp and executed. To deter future uprising attempts, the Nazis ordered the mass murder of the area's Jews, killing 43,000 people in just 6 days in retaliation. SS leader Heinrich Himmler then ordered Sobibor to be closed and dismantled, erasing all evidence of the horror that had taken place there. Most of those who escaped died in the next 2 years, before the end of World War II. Only 53 survived the war, and among them was Pechersky. The captain lived out the rest of his days in the Soviet Union, or he passed away in 1990, leaving behind a daughter, a granddaughter and 2 great-grandchildren. We have reached the end of the video and we want to ask you, what is your opinion of the escape plan of the rebels? Leave your answer in the comment box below and don't forget to subscribe to our channel to learn about many more military events that left their mark on history.